Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. The name's Ron. Now, you're gonna find out pretty fast that this here show is not gonna be like any of those other shows you see on there. God damn it. This thing won't light up. So, I'd like to introduce myself. The name said earlier, I'm Ron. I reckon you'd be asking yourself, well, what's this guy's story, Well, it's a long story. It's a dirty story. It's a very hard story. But I'm going to tell it. I'm going to tell it. Now, I'm a beef farmer, cattle farmer. Either way, me and my friend, lifelong friend, Paco Cortez, we've been friends a long time. We got into the business together, fixing to make it big, God rest his soul. You'll see a number down at the bottom of the screen. And you probably guessed that that number will reach me. So, call in if you got some questions about some of the stories you'll be hearing. Now, I never had no father, never had no mother either. I grew up in a hotel, making my way town to town. Hello.
Hi, Ron.
Hi there. How are you?
Wow, weird echo going on there.
Well, we're in the middle of a pasture, so you'll have to excuse that.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear about your friend.
Paco.
Yeah, I'm very, very deeply sorry.
Yeah, he lost a long battle with AIDS. Full-blown ones.
That's a tough disease. It really is.
It really is. It really is. Where are you calling from? Where are you calling from?
I'm in L.A.
L.A. L.A. Hollywood.
Yeah, but I just wanted to say that I support you, and I'm very sorry for your friend's death, and thank God there's no more, well, there is echo, but the mad cow disease. I'm glad that that is finally gone.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your kind words, you know. It means a lot.
And just so you know, I don't know, but I just can't read any chat. It's not working correctly.
Are you using Firefox, sir?
I'm using that Google Chrome, sir.
Never used that one before, really. We found that Firefox fixed all of our chat problems that we'd be having earlier on the show.
You know what? On that recommendation, I will download it right now.
Well, thank you, sir, and thank you for calling in.
Anytime, and please accept my condolences, Ron. And you have a fantastic night.
Thank you, sir. Hasta luego. So, anyway, my story. Spent a lot of time in moving, you know, doing jobs, carpentry jobs, driving trucks, you know, labor hand, whatever gets you to the next town, you know, and you know, you roll into a new town, you can be someone new every time, you know. And when I was younger, I spent a lot of time being different people, you know. I bought my fair share of women. Did a whole mess of drinking. And that's where I met Paco. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello there.
Why are
Welcome
you
to the
calling
show.
me? Who's talking?
This is Ron.
What are we watching here?
Well, you're watching Ron. See the name at the bottom? This is Ron.
Ron.
That's right.
Okay, you were talking. Who died?
Paco Cortez died. My longtime friend.
Who?
Paco.
Paco Cortez?
That's right.
Paco Cortez.
Paco.
Paco.
Did you have a question for me, son?
What did he die of? Did he get infected with the gay and die of the Freddie Mercury?
Well, I'll put that faggoty baby to rest right now. He was no faggot.
Oh, that's not what I heard. I heard you two like doing Brokeback Mountain together. Is that true? And if so, who was the top and who was the bottom? You kind of look like a twink. Are you a Twinkie, sir? Full of cream?
What's your name, boy?
The fire making you look kind of radiant tonight. You didn't get butt slammed before the show, did you?
No, sir. What is your name?
Yeah, maybe if you heard of a show called the Jesus Chatline.
I've heard of it.
Maybe you should buy Richard's package and try their Homo Detox. Might help you with that limp wrist you're holding there, sir.
Is that all?
Why is there a bit? What? Why are you wearing a hat? Are you hiding that dent on your forehead from where your boyfriend teabagged you with his nuts of steel?
You know, there's gonna be some of this.
Indeed.
I've got a story to tell, and I'm gonna tell it.
Well, tell me your story.
Hello there.
Yeah, I got some of your beef, man.
Can't rightly hear you, can you?
Well, I got some of your beef here.
How do you like it?
It's pretty good. I got some prime, I got some select, and I got some choice. Your cattle ain't all that, completely, say, consistent, but I feel good.
I like a mean, juicy steak myself.
Oh, I do agree, sir. I do agree. Oh, the last time I had a good steak, the good times it bring me. Oh, it was probably one of your steaks.
Sorry about that, everybody. Had a bit of a moment, you know. So, back to the story. Spent a lot of time transient, going town to town. And that's where I met Paco. You know, we were young men back then. You know, spit in our eye, fire in our belly, angry at the world, you know. Like you do. And so when I saw Paco, he was at the bar by himself, knocking over whiskey. Something I could relate to. So I sat down beside him, said, "Howdy, partner. The name's Ron." Well, Paco kept his eyes forward, said nothing. Took another shot. I said, a little bit louder this time, "The name's Ron." And as he was tilting up his glass, he stopped. He looked over at me. And now, Paco had these dark black eyes. So he's staring at me with those dark eyes, and he says, "I don't give a fuck." Well, I'd heard enough. You know, going town to town like you do, you learn who to stay away from, you know. I ain't got nothing to prove except finding another woman, maybe, and getting on to the next town. So I said to him, "Sorry, asshole. I thought you was somebody else." And he said to me, "I am." Well, I started laughing, started howling. I was fixing to bust his face until that moment. But we got to talking after laughing and found out that he was in town for a couple nights doing a job. And we got to drinking, telling each other stories. Stories about the road. Some of the things, a man sees in his travels. They will stay with you. And here, sometimes you don't want them to. Yeah. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, well, I've heard this story 1,000 times, And I'm not going to lie to you and say, well, this one's different. Because I'd be lying if I said that, but I'm going to tell the story as it was. The next morning, I woke up in my seedy hotel room. Woman lying next to me. Smell of the booze on her. The whole room smelled like sex. And I don't remember her name. And I'd be lying if I told you I remembered her face. But I do remember her perky tits as I glanced over at them as I snuck out without paying. On the house. I like to say, when you take something without paying, it's on the house. Mm-hmm. So, when I left that morning, went downstairs, buttoning up my shirt. I was done running into Paco in the hall. Except, my memory was a fair deal fuzzy, and I didn't remember his name. But, luckily, you didn't remember mine. So, it wasn't that awkward. But, it says to me, son, I remember talking to you, but I don't remember your name, is what he said. And I said, I'm wrong. He said, I'm Paco. He said he needed an extra hand. They're putting in a new set of tracks about a quarter mile north of a town called Jasper. Might have been Jesper. I don't rightly remember that part. But he asked me, he said, Ron, he said, you up for a hard day's work? I said, no. He said, well, I need a hand. I said, a hand doing what? He said, well, just come out, you know. Come out and come out and lend a hand, you know, carry stuff, you know, carry some ties, swing a hammer. And I pay you $50, he said. Well, that was more than enough to get me to my next town. So I said I'd go with him. And I did.
Welcome back. If you just stopped in, my name's Ron. I'm a beef farmer down here in Cherry County. Hello.
Hello there, sir.
Who am I speaking to?
This is Neil Lakestrong.
Neil?
Yeah,
My name's Ron.
I'm sorry to hear about Paco, sir.
Yeah, it's that's just the way it goes now, Neil, isn't it?
Yep, they seem to just keep coming and going, those Mexicans.
Yeah, so I was driving back from Murdo, South Dakota. On through to Valentine and then turn west to my ranch. When I see Paco's truck on the side of the road, as you often do. Paco drives a 1970 C10 Chevrolet, red, RV rims. And I'm thinking, Paco, you done goofed again. Truck busted up on the side of the road like some son of a bitch. I got out of my vehicle. And as I approach, I realize this ain't no car trouble. There's Paco, he's slumped over the wheel. And I called the authority. that was that. Back to beef farming now. Day in, day out. I'm just going to keep doing what Paco would have wanted me to do. Beef. Go ahead.
Hello?
Who am I speaking with now?
This is Jason.
Well, welcome, Jason. What's on your mind?
I don't know. Just want to BS. Or, I mean, just talk about whatever you're talking about. I just got on, so I'm just kind of interested in what you guys are talking about.
You got a fire going of your own?
What?
I said you got a fire going of your own.
Negative.
So, goddamn punks. I seen it all in my day. Paco seen it too. Paco used to say to punks like that, "I slap that beard right up your face." Paco damn near do it too. Yeah, we've done lots of traveling, Paco and I, and Mitch. Mitch Rodriguez. Mitch done a lot of jobs. Mitch drive truck. I'm going to try and come up with a good story for you about Paco. This one here is one time me and Paco, we down in Mexico. And we doing some ranching down there. And Paco says, why not we take a break from this here ranching and let's go seaside. So me and Paco, we saddle up till we can smell that salt in the air. We knew we was heading in the right direction. Paco was always good at that. And so Paco gets it in his mind, we're going to go on a boat tour. So we get on this crappy looking boat. And yeah, the boat looks old. It's got an old steering wheel and it's all rusted up, but it looks like it'll float. So we get on, and this Mexican fella, he's taking us around, showing us the sights. Yeah, there's cliffs and whatnot, coral. And I sitting there thinking, Paco, this is bullshit. So we start working our way up straight on to this tall cliff. And the driver, he's a turning the wheel, and the boat's not turning. Now he starts turning the wheel a little harder. Boat's not turning. And we're heading straight for this goddamn cliff, and I'm thinking, Paco, Why didn't we just stick to ranching today? This is going to be our final day. I'm ready to dive over the side of the goddamn boat. When at the last minute, the boat just veers off to the side, and we just miss hitting the cliff. And Paco, he points, he nudges me and he points, look back, and I look, and the son of a bitch had his hand on a rudder. That steering wheel was never operational. He's operating a goddamn rudder the whole time. And I guess he thinks he's pretty funny. He must do this to everybody. We pull up to the shore, and let me tell you, did Paco beat the shit out of this man. I had to pull Paco off him. I will never forget that day. As long as I beef ranch. I aim to take a piss now, but I'll be back. So I want y'all to kick back, relax, pour yourself another whiskey.
Hello everybody. Welcome back. My name is Ron. Fucking thing. Fucking speedboats. Tell you. Reminds me of what it was like growing up on the water. So, just tuning in. We're remembering good old friend Paco Cortez. Everybody, welcome back to the show. The name's Ron. We're talking about Paco, telling stories, taking some calls about his life. If you got anything you'd like to share about Paco, please feel free. Call in the number at the bottom of the screen there. So I was talking about growing up in my early 20s. Me and Paco, we got a place together on a street called Muddy Side. The address, I believe, was 62 shithole. But it was our shithole. Know what I mean? When it rained, the roof leaked. It got cold. House is gone down cold.
Hello.
Hello there.
How you doing?
Doing very well. How you doing there?
I don't know. I just got back from my job, you know,
Well,
working at Arby's.
RB?
Arby's, as an ARBY apostrophe
Oh,
S.
I was gonna say, thought you were working for RB. I did a bit of a stint for RB, rustled a bit back a little bit. So, working, how's your day of work?
It was pretty good. I totally told this lady off. She said I shortchanged her about $20, and she only gave me a 10 to pay for. So, I told her that she is the biggest douche I've ever met, and she needs to get that dildo out of her ass before she ends up taking somebody's life. And quite frankly, she's not the best looking lady I've ever seen.
I've got nothing to say to that. So, as I was saying, we got a place on Muddy Side, and it was a shithole. It only had one bedroom in it. I took it. Paco, he didn't sleep in a bed. I always found that kind of weird about him. When I asked him why, I said, he said, you never know when you need to go. That's what he said. And when he said that to me, I wasn't sure what it meant. You never know when you need to go. Well, thought he meant he had to take a piss. But no, Paco was always on the run. You know, he was always running. And I don't mean that only literally. It's a metaphor. The man was always running, you know, from what was inside of him, you know. He was always looking to get a vacation from himself. Now, he was a nice man. He was a tormented man. A lot of sadness. It's like a picture of a clown, you know, smiling up front, but inside he wasn't smiling. He weren't smiling at all. If life were a joke, Paco felt it was at his expense all the time. Weren't no telling him otherwise either. Weren't no telling him otherwise. So anyway, I took the bed. The bedroom. He slept on the couch. Piece of shit of a couch, dude. Springs be popping out all over, you know, so to speak. but he slept on it. Didn't complain. It's one thing I can say about him. He never complained. Even when life handed him a bullshit hand, he never complained. Made the best of it. He often said he felt that in this card game of life there were too many jokers in the deck. That's what he used to say. Hello there.
Hey, I'd like to talk about Paco.
You'd like to talk about Paco?
Yeah.
Well, go right ahead, friend.
Whatever happened to Paco? I've been hearing stories about him, but I haven't met him.
Well, Paco died.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Poor Paco.
he's 6 feet under right now, but he's smiling, you know. I like to think he's smiling. I like to think he's free.
Well, he...
Did you know him?
Nah, kinda would like to, though.
Sorry, what was that, sir?
I wish I did know him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you would like to know him. He's the kind of guy that... He's the kind of guy that guys like to know. You know. He's the kind of guy that the ladies want to be with, you know. He's the kind of guy that had your back
How'd he pass on?
when you're up against the wall, you know. But so is life, you know. It's the way you go. We all end up in the grave.
Circle of life. Anyways, I'm letting you get talking back.
You ever hang out? You ever outside and starts to rain, but at the same time it raining that the sun is shining?
Yep.
Well, it's bittersweet, you know.
Yep.
And that was Paco's favorite, you know. He said that when that happens, do you know why that happens?
Why is that?
I'll tell you what Paco said. He said that whenever there's sunny sky and it's raining down on you, that's God pissing on you. That's what he said. But
yeah, that's Fred told me that.
yeah. So, but I mean, he said that. I don't believe he believed it, because every time it was raining and the sun was shining, he were out in it. He were out going for a walk, having a smoke, whatever. He'd always find a reason to be out there.
Yeah.
Him and that goddamn dog of his. Do you have a dog, son?
Yep.
What's his name?
His name is Dean.
His name's what?
Dean.
What kind of dog's that?
The lab.
Oh, yeah. Good dogs. Is he a good boy?
Oh, yeah.
I love those furry little buggers, you know. But
Yeah.
Paco, he had this, believe it was some form of border collie mix or something like that, some mutt dog here. He really liked, and damn thing be barking all the time, and I remember him just annoying the piss out of me, going off. I think he had a coon in a tree, I think, or something like that. It could have been a big old coon up in the tree, and barking on, stopping the yard there. And I remember just looking at him and saying to him, his name was Lefty, is what he called it, because he walked with a limp on his left side. They called him Lefty. And I said, like, I looked at Lefty, and I remember thinking, I was like, when the hell are you gonna die? is what I thought. But you know, a short little while later, you know, he did die. I mean, I missed that little bastard, and I still miss that little bastard.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you just kind of regret. Sometimes you regret saying that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you know, at the time I kind of meant it as a bit of a joke, you know, when you're going to die. But,
yeah.
You know, when he does die, when he did die there, you know, it was a sad day. It's very quiet in the house, but, you know, you move on, so to speak.
Yeah.
You gotta, sometimes it's just your time, you know. He got hit by one of them, what do they call those big trucks? Semi-truck? Big rig truck, one of them with all the wheels on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hit him there and, you know, chewed him up like chewed the poor guy up like those things in the sink that grind up all the carburetor. That's what it is there. Poor old animal was spread all over the highway, and he was suffering. So
Yeah.
it's a sad day, but Paco pulled out his pistol and you know, do what you have to do, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your name, son?
Name's Alan.
Alan. Nice to meet you, Alan. My name's Ron.
Nice to meet you, Ron.
Thank you. Well, thank you for calling in here, just telling stories, you know. But
Okay.
I've been doing a whole lot of talking. Maybe there's a story you'd like to share about your dog there.
Well, my dog Dean is a little crazy. Playing in the fun afternoon, having a smoke, throwing the ball. All of a sudden, he ran out to the road. Almost got hit. There's a police car running through, and then he was just inches away from the tires. Almost got him. I'm so glad I didn't. I thank the Lord.
Well, you know, it's where are you calling from again?
From the coast.
The East Coast?
West Coast.
West Coast. Well, I'd like to thank you for calling in. Appreciate it. Paul,
Are you the lone sole living heir of the Ronco product company? Did you sell that spray-on hair and made millions duping bald-headed men?
do I
is
look
that
like
it?
a man with $1 million to you, son?
No, you look like a man that just took a cum shot to the face.
Spoken like a true gentleman. Where are you calling from? Where are you calling from, boy?
Where are you broadcasting? I heard you were in Montana.
We're in Cherry
that true?
County,
You're in Montana, right?
Nebraska.
Now, you have a kind face, sir. I must say that.
Thank you, sir.
The
You have a
kind
very-
face that looks like it gets hit with cum shots every night.
Shit. Paco, he had a girl that he was very fond of. I wouldn't go as far as call it his wife, but, you know, well, I wouldn't say it to him or it'd punch my face. But there's always a girl he'd be talking about back home. Her name was Amelia. She, I'd never met her. He carried a picture around with him in his wallet of her. Picture was all worn out and looked like it had been through the wash a few times. But he showed it to me a couple of times. Not many, but she's very pretty. The kind of girl that the kind of girl you'd carry a picture with. You'd carry her picture if you knew a girl like that. Amelia. She told me that she was a dancer. And that she was in the ballet. I don't remember where. Could have been New York City. This is going back a while, you know. But anyway, she was a dancer. And not the kind of dancer that you take off them clothes, none of that. I mean a proper dancer. And he carried this picture around with him. And we was working on a farm. I don't remember which one now. But it was in the fall. And it was me and him. We were living on the farm. We had a tent that we shared there. That was quite common. Everybody kind of, when there was work that to be due, when there was work that needed to get done there, the hired hands is what we call them, the hands would all live on the land while we're working it. And we were sitting around a fire one night, all the other hands, must have been 5 other fellas, sitting around a fire, not unlike this one here. And the boys was pulling out pictures that they had with them of their families and their girls and their, you know. Now Ron ain't one to carry pictures, you know. And I've been many folks in my life to carry pictures of. None at all, to be exact, but the other boys, well, they all had pictures of their families or their mothers or their girls or them's kids or whatever it be. And they got to comparing them, and well, Paco pulled out his picture of Amelia, and he showed it to the fella that was sitting beside him. He had a picture of his wife, and, you know, Pancho pulled out his old torn up, beaten picture, and the fella sitting next to him said, you know, you sure got your use out of that picture, is what he said to him. You know, implying that Paco had been using it hard. You know, and all the boys were laughing. And everyone was all laughing around the fire, but even I busted a few chuckles out. Not gonna lie. You know, Paco, he sure worn out that pitcher, is what they said to him. Using it hard. Using it to get hard. But everyone was laughing but Paco. Now, he didn't fancy that too funny, you see. He just sat there poker-faced, saying nothing, holding the pitcher. While we all, well, now that he's gone no longer with us, I'll admit that I was laughing too, but if he were alive, I would not be saying that. So when those other fellers were making fun of him and his worn-out pitcher, you know, they were also saying stuff like, you know, it's all stained up and, you know, good thing that it's a glossy picture, stuff like that, or the gloss worn right off, kind of talking. Paco, he sat silent, right, till all the laughter was done. And it got really, really awkward and quiet because no one was saying nothing. Paco just put the picture back in his wallet and he turned to that fella sitting beside him. I don't remember his name, but he was a tall fella, probably about 6'5", with black hair and a full beard. And he turned to him and he said, "You'd better apologize for that." Well, the big guy didn't take too kindly to that. He said something like, "Apologize for what?" And he said, "Well, you made fun of my girl." And the other fella there said, "That ain't your girl, you know. That's some picture you got of the magazine that you've been beating it to pull it all worn out like that. Ain't never seen a picture worn out like that unless it's been used good," kind of thing. And you know, Paco said, "This is the second time I'm going to say this. This is the last time I'm going to say this. But you better apologize for your behavior." Well, that big fella found that mighty funny, because Paco wasn't a big man. No, sir. He was a very short man, but full of energy, you know. And anyway, the big man stood up in his chair, you know, and he got up in his face like this. He leaned right in at him and he said, "I ain't apologizing for shit." And he spat his chew on him, man. He spat the chew on him and it went on his face, went on his britches. And, well, still, Paco sat there. He didn't move. Now, this fella was standing right in his face at this point. He's standing up on him like this, right? Looking down on him. And Paco just sitting like this, you know. He's looking down. And then, all of a sudden, like lightning across the sky, he quickly swung his head up and he hit him right in the teeth, you see. Knocked fucking 3 teeth right out the front of his mouth, just like that. The guy was rolling on the floor, drowned in the mud. holding on his face. And Paco stood up over him like this, eh? And he grabbed him by his collar and he said, listen to me, okay? He said, and he wasn't yelling at this point. He was so calm, like the wind blowing through the trees on a Sunday. And he said to him, I told you twice. I told you 3 times. I warned you. You know, and he said the other guy wasn't paying much attention to him because he was bleeding out the mouth, you know, and he had knocked over the wood stump that he was sitting on, and it rolled over beside him. What Paco did is he held him down on the ground with his mouth open, you know, and he knelt down and he put his knee on the top of his head, so he's kneeing on his forehead, and his other 2 hands was pushing on his jaw so his mouth go wide open. And I swear to God, that what happened next that no one expected. Paco pissed in this man's mouth. He whipped out his dick so fast, and he filled the man's mouth full of piss. And I swear to you, none of them thought he would do that. He had pissed in this man's mouth, and right when it was right full of piss, he squished his cheeks together like that, so it sprayed all over the place. Oh, it was a disgusting sight. But let me tell you, ain't nobody made fun of that picture after that. You know, that big feller, when he was gone the next day. He left in the night. We ain't never seen him again. But them other boys was howling. You know, they was calling them pissy pants or something like that. Some of them piss face, you know. Yeah. That's what his name was Delacroix, I think it. Delacroix, something like Frenchman. Big Frenchman. And they were singing a song like, what did it go? Like, something like, here come Delacroix, watch him do a little dance. Hear him going squirting in him pants, you know. something like that, because the man had pissed himself. He was so shaken up by that he actually pissed himself. Shit. That Paco. You know, that was how we were. You know, that's how we were, so to speak. And I really miss him. Miss him a lot. You know, that was Paco. He wasn't a big man, but let me tell you, he was squirrely like a son of a bitch. But it reminds me of a bit of a joke I'd like to share with you if you'd like to hear it. If you can just press 1 in the room there if you'd like to hear a joke. All right. Well, here I go. Well, you see, there was this feller in the bar, and he had remember them cans of meat that you'd buy. You'd have to open it up with a key or something like that. I don't remember the name of it, but you open it up and with the key, and this Spam, I believe it was. Anyways, one of them meat in the can things. It's not really important, but he had it beside him on his table that he'd be sitting at, and he was using it to as a spittoon, you see. He was spitting in it, you know, his tobacco. And well, the guy sees him spitting in, walks over to him, you know, glances down into his spittoon there, and sees that it's full to the top, you know, with spit, you know, and you know, tobacco and snot and phlegm and all the other. It's just a big cesspool. Really, it's just marinating in there like a set of ribs in a fine marinade. And he says to the fella, he says, you know what, hey, Johnson, or whatever his name were, we'll just say it was Johnson. Hey there, Johnson, I will pay you to drink that spittoon there. And he says, fuck you, I'm not drinking that. And he says, well, how about I make it interesting? $50 to drink that whole spittoon right there. And the guy says, $50. I ain't drinking that for $50. Well, all right, he says. The other man says, well, Johnson, how about this? How about you just take one sip for $50? Well, Johnson looks at it, looks over at the man, says, $50? He says, $50. So, Johnson's looking at the spittoon. He's looking at the man. Back to the spittoon. The man, $50 on the table, looking at the $50. He's looking, and he says, okay, all right, $50. One sip, though. Man says, yeah, one sip of that sludge there for $50. So Johnson says, okay. So he grabs the spittoon, and he grabs it, it's slopping over the sides, and it's green and it's gray, and he holds it up to his lips, you know, and boom, tilts it back like a rocket flying in the sky, you know, like on the NASA show. Anyway, he tilts it back, and you know, he's just chugging it all the way. He's just chugging the whole thing down like a freeway down his throat, and he's just, and it's just pouring down his throat, and he slams the thing down angrily, like he was very mad. He hits it down on the table, and the man says to him, "What? I just said you had to take a sip. What'd you go down and drink the whole thing for? You didn't have to do that." And Johnson said to him, well, I tried, but it came out in just one long piece. There's the joke. Came out as one long piece. And now it's very long. So, if you're out there, Paco, the spirit of the West, I miss you, buddy. We all miss you. This whole chat room full of people here. Wish you're still with us. And thank you to everybody in the room for being a friend to an old man who needs some friends. So gonna say goodnight. Because I gotta pack up and move on to the next town. I don't know when the next show will be, but maybe when I get settled in the next town we can do this again. I like that. So I'll say goodnight to y'all, and I won't say goodbye, but I'll say see you later. Hasta luego. Good night, everybody, and thank you for watching. Ron, I gotta go.